Hey, fellow traders. Today, we're just going to go over the markets. We're going to look at the indexes, the S&P 500, US 500. Maybe we'll have a look at a couple of other indexes. We'll look at the commodities like the gold and the Brent, and we'll go and have a look at a few Forex trades for next week. Let's see what happened last week, and let's see what's going to happen next week. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Rob, and for those of you who do know me, welcome back. Look, today is going to be a very raw video. I'm not really going to do any editing on this. So what you see is what you see, and you're going to have to forgive me for any ums and ahs and things like that in the market. If you don't know me, I'm a trader that's been trading for around 30 years, and this is what I do. I'm just going to move this little picture out of the way so that we can go and have a look at the trades for the week, and let's see where we are for this week. Now, what I can see here, what I've been looking at, is we've closed all our trades for the week. By the way, all the trades for last week are now closed. But look at the gold. Look what's happened with the gold. The gold has really come crashing down. It's in a nice bearish trend. So what do you see here, guys? For those of you who know me, you'll know we're looking at a nice little area over, oops, that's a big mistake. I just wanted to move the chart. A nice little area over here of supply of money. So it looks to me like next week, most likely with gold, what we'll most likely get is a bit of a, correction back to the upside, and then off she goes down, carries on down to the downside. The markets are looking a little bit iffy at the moment, so maybe a bit up here to take the money and on towards the downside. The US 500, the S&P 500 has toppled over. It's kind of fallen over to the other side. Now we've got our support level in here, which was a resistance. It's broken through that level and it's headed to the upside, and it's done really well. But as I said last week, and I think it was in one of the members' videos that I mentioned it to you guys, I did say, you know what, guys, what I'm seeing here is a little bit of a, it hit the target that it was looking for, that 6,000 mark. They always look for that round figure. And I was thinking, what are we going to get for the Christmas rally? Because are we really going to go that much higher than this year? So what I said was, what I think would happen is a little bit of a correction to the downside, and then we'll maybe get the Christmas rally from that correction to the upside. I don't think the correction's over. It's broken through this 59 level. It'll probably come down and test the main support at the 57.50, which will be great. If not that, at least the 58.50 to 58, somewhere down here. And then it'll start correcting, and then we'll probably get the Christmas rally back to the 6,000 level, probably 6.1. Look, I'm not a soothsayer. I'm just looking at high probabilities and what's happened in the past. And that's what I'm thinking, guys. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the possibility that this correction will take place. It will correct nicely down to these levels, and then the Christmas rally will give us a run probably back up to the 6,000 level. So if you thought it was just going to burst through the 6,000 level, probably not going to happen if the US 500 corrects. And just remember, the US 500 is the same as the S&P 500 in those types of trades. So just look at the similar sort of pattern. Now, if you look at the FTSE has most definitely taken a dive to the downside, but it's hit a major support and it's not breaking through. Looks like it probably wants to stay in this range. The concern for the FTSE, though, is if the US 500 does correct further, this will probably correct downwards as well, which it normally does. The DAX is unsure of itself as well, pretty similar to the FTSE and the others, the France 40. It's kind of sitting on that support, not sure where it wants to go, bouncing off the support every time it hits it. So the 190 level is a very, very, very strong support on the FTSE. If we go to the the DAX, sorry. If we go to the Brent, as I said to you, raw video, no editing. Please excuse the mistakes. Right, so here we are in the Brent. Now, we closed our trades, and Brent was one of them. We did close it, and it was actually quite good that we did, because we were long. We closed it in the tiniest profit on earth, and then it went short, so that's quite lucky, actually. But I do like to close the trades for the weekend. Don't like to leave trades open over the weekend, particularly if it's an index or a commodity. So yes, Brent looks like it wants to head on down to the downside for now. We'll see what it does next week. I think on Monday what we'll look for, and just see if it breaks to the upside out of this support or breaks to the downside out of this support, because as it stands, we were in the trade for the whole week and we made nothing. It's just been sitting in that range for the entire week, which can be pretty irritating at the best of times. Gold, like I said, waiting for that slight move up and then perhaps down. It could actually just continue on down from this point. But what's our main target before we go long? What I'm thinking is if we get a short, that's great. If we don't get a short, I'm looking for a long trade from down at these lower levels. There is price available at 25. I mean, we can buy at 25, and there's also more down at the 24. So there's a couple of nice levels here that we can look at. For an entry, I'd probably look at around 25. I'd start looking seriously for a long. So your shorts here, your risk to reward is pretty low on a short. But if it gets back up to 26 and takes money here, then your risk to reward is not bad on a good short trade down to 25 with a stop loss up at, say, 26.30 or something like that. So that doesn't look too bad. The Dixie is flying and there's a lamp pole formation, and it most certainly doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. It's gone through these levels, it's broken through its resistance, and it's kind of sitting above it. So I'd be very cautious about shorting the Dixie. Looks like it wants to continue on long, which means the euro US dollar will continue on to the short side. Will we see parity? Let's see what happens. Let's see how the markets go before we call anything. But what I am calling for the euro US dollar and also the Great British Pound US dollar, in my opinion, is most likely a bit of a correction to the upside. Sorry, coffee with Rob. We are going to have a sip of coffee. What I am calling for here next week is most likely a bit of a correction to the upside. When I say correction, it's going to release a bit of pressure, come back up, maybe take some money a little bit higher up here, maybe at the 106 level, somewhere around there, and then continue on to the downside. Why is there an up arrow there? That was a long time ago that you were thinking that might turn up. It didn't. It actually is definitely looking like it's going down, but it might do this. It might just come up here and then go down from there. So next week, let's just see what we get. See if we get a nice entry into the euro US dollar for a short trade. I think this thing's going to try and go for parity, which is going to be an interesting situation. US dollar, Japanese yen corrected slightly. It's not short, it's just corrected slightly. We were short on the euro Japanese yen on Friday. Friday evening, we closed out. Well, it's evening here, daytime for you guys in America, but for us, it was evening. I closed out the trade, tiny little profit, because it was weekend, and then it continued on short, of course. But that was another trade that I kind of was in for more than a couple of days, waiting for it to do something, and it was going against us, came down, and I just decided it's weekend, let's close the trade out. So no loss there, no big deal. Last week, our best trade was Bitcoin, our worst trade was the FTSE. But let's have a look at Bitcoin in a moment. I'll get to it in a moment. That is probably live as we stand because it is Saturday. But let's have a look. US dollars ZAR, a nice strengthly run to the top, which means the South African rand is weakening. The US dollar is strengthening, which it is. The US dollar is most certainly strengthening. So this is a long trade at the moment. It's just settling down here, probably continue on to the upside. Euro Great British Pound, I think this will go short. It's going to hit this level, turn around and go down. US dollar CAD is remaining long no matter what you do. There's a big lamp pole formation. I remember one of the members was talking about they were in a short trade, and I did tell you, do be careful. This looks like it wants to go to the moon. The Australian dollar, US dollar, still short. It's broken through the support. Looks like it's retesting, and it's going to continue on to the downside. Bitcoin, very strong. Looks like it wants to go and test the 100,000. We were long on this. We put our stop loss up at 91,000 because we bought it down in the 80s. And it came back and took the stop loss out for a fair profit, mind you. I was kind of hoping we'd get more of a correction down here, maybe down to the 82, somewhere around there, so we could buy in again, but hasn't happened. So I'm not going to climb back into that for now. I don't think it's got much more upside than 100,000 because I think that's what everyone's targeting in the first place. So I do think that's about as far as it goes. So guys, as far as the funded trader markets account goes, it kind of it did okay. It made a couple of dollars last week. I think maybe 60 or something like that. Not really great because we had a loss, we had a win, we had a couple of tiny trades, nothing big, no big run on this last week. But we've opened the funded trader account, as you guys all know well, so that we can determine if we can make a funded trader account work. So this is a phase 1 challenge account with funded trader markets. If you want one of these accounts, I have left a link for you in the description below so that you can also go and get one of these accounts if you want to trade with us. We trade live on the Tuesday and the Thursday. Now, I prefer to trade with cash. I always prefer to trade with cash, but we opened this just to see, because a couple of guys did say that with funded trading, it's actually very difficult to apply your stop loss strategy, to apply the strategy that we use to make wins in the market, which has got nothing to do with the lines. It's all to do with the psychology. And according to a lot of guys, it was impossible to trade on a funded trader market account and actually make that money. So I found this funded trader markets, which allow you to trade over the weekends. They allow you to trade overnight. They allow you to trade your own system, whole bunch of things. There are drawdown rules and that sort of thing, which prevent me from taking, say, 10 trades at any one time. But I can take 3 or 4, and that works just fine. It isn't winning at the moment. It's in a slight loss, but it will win. I think it will play out at the end of the day, and we will be able to do it on a 4-hour swing trading strategy that we use as we stand. They are offering 50% off on evaluation challenges at the moment and 20% off on, I can't believe they've actually got instant funding now. That's actually quite amazing. So if you're interested in that, there is a link in the description as well. But yeah, we trade this every Tuesday and Thursday just to see how we get on and just to see if we can make this work. And then maybe we'll get to phase 2 and maybe we'll even turn it into a live account. I don't know. Not a big deal for me. I spend most of my time trading with real money, which is much more interesting and obviously more important. So, as you guys know, we trade on 1% of our account size. Keep your account size similar. Don't let it get too big. Take money out, put it in the bank where it's safe. If you've got a $100,000 account, keep it as a $100,000 account. Risk $1,000 on every trade. Don't change your risk on every trade. Don't forget that, guys. Don't ever forget that. So this video is only just to show you what I think the markets will do next week, what I think the markets did last week, and where we're going. I think the whole, what can you call these guys? These doomsday soothsayers, all the guys that play into the economy. The guys that are talking about, there's no interest rate cut, and this is going to affect the markets like terrible. And, at the end of the day, these interest rate cuts and the way they do things in the market, the effects that they have are kind of minimal at the end of the day. The markets move with the money. It's all about the money flows in the country. And this run was actually based on euphoria because I believe because of Donald Trump or something to that effect. And that caused this run to the upside. And also you've got this scenario of people expecting rate cuts and all the rest of it. And now they say, oh, there might not be a rate cut. And this comes tumbling down. And, the effect that it actually has on the markets is ridiculous, because this is just people having euphoria, having adrenaline rushes and diving in and saying, oh, they're having a rate cut, so we're going to sell off like crazy. They're not even thinking straight, because the ultimate effect is not there. It's always going to settle back to where it needs to be and where it's supposed to be in the market. So, it always concerns me when that happens. It's actually quite crazy at the end of the day. Let me put the thing back up again so you can actually see my face again. Guys, I want to thank you for being with me for the weekend today. It is Saturday. I just thought I'd give you a rundown on the markets and let you know what I think is going to happen next week and what happened last week. But don't forget to come back for Monday's video. And don't forget to come back and join us for the live shows during the week. And we can chat a little bit further about how the markets are going to go. How can I possibly know what's going to happen on Monday morning? Anything can happen, things can change, and it's not even Sunday yet. So enjoy the video, enjoy the information, and then have a look at my previous videos, my last videos, which will explain to you how you can have a strategy that will make you profitable in the stock market. Perhaps it'll change your outlook on how you trade. But guys, thanks for watching. Till the next video. Cheers, ciao, and bye.